Welcome back guys to another banger video. Today we'll be reacting to the GO on the Pokemon market, Twice Baked Jake. And we'll be seeing what his thoughts are, and I will be giving my thoughts on what he's talking about too. So let's get right into the video. If you're gonna enjoy this, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe. Let's go!
Hey, what's up everybody? Jake here and welcome to the hobby. Today we're going to be looking at some of the biggest winners and losers right now in the Pokemon card market. And one of the biggest winners that is shocking a lot of collectors is Twilight Masquerade. Who would have thought that...
Yeah, Twilight Masquerade is going on value like a lot because the Greninja's like $100 right now. So that's pretty good because I thought normally it would just go down because it's a new set. So yeah.
Twilight Masquerade would be the most expensive value set to crack open right now. I didn't expect that, and I think the vast majority of collectors didn't really expect that. There are some major big hits inside of Twilight Masquerade, and we definitely call those out. Those were cards like the Greninja Special Illustration Rare, the Carmine Special Illustration Rare, and the Eevee Illustration Rares are some of the big ones. But it looks like that's really all it takes to truly carry a set is a small group of really gorgeous looking cards. The Ogerpon Special Illustration Rares are definitely some of the weaker cards inside of this set, but overall, they're not that weak. Overall, the set is looking very, very solid. It's looking like the best value set to crack open right now from the Scarlet and Violet era, and that I think is really shocking.
I definitely agree with Twice Baked Jake on that right now.
I don't think anyone expected the Greninja Special Illustration Rare to be going for upwards of $160. There are a ton of verified sales of this card at that price point, which shows that people genuinely love this card, which is really surprising. It's not a bad card. It's actually quite clearly one of the best looking cards from Twilight Masquerade, but for it to command that level of price shows people really do want this card.
And the Eevee, the Greninja does look pretty cool, and the Eevee too. Surprised it's $40 for illustration rare though.
It is that gorgeous, which I think is really, really interesting. So Twilight Masquerade, some of the biggest winners right now. And following in that footstep, we have illustration rares from the Scarlet and Violet era. A lot of the illustration rare from the Scarlet and Violet era are showing big jumps right now. The biggest of the bunch being the Magikarp illustration rare, which is going for upwards of $140 to $160 right now for some near mint copies, which is astounding. Once you go into the PSA 10 copies of the Magikarp, which is astounding for just an illustration rare from the Scarlet and Violet era. So that definitely begs the questions for some of the less popular illustration rares, but still very, very popular. Something like the Eevee from Twilight Masquerade is currently going for between $40 to $50 for a near mint ungraded copy. And if it follows in the footstep of the Magikarp, because it's just as challenging to pull the Eevee illustration rare, I've cracked open close to 200 booster packs of Twilight Masquerade so far, and we pulled one illustration rare Eevee. And it's very possible that if you crack open 200 booster packs, you might not find a single illustration rare Eevee. They are absolutely that rare. It's very challenging to pull any illustration rare in Twilight Masquerade. If you open up a whole entire booster box, you're probably pulling 2 to 3 illustration rares.
That's pretty good.
2 to 3. So it's quite challenging to pull some of these art cards. It's possible that the Eevee might command the same price as the Magikarp in a year or two. So it'll be interesting to see where times go. The vast majority
Disagree or agree to disagree, but I don't know if the Eevee's gonna go up to that much in like a year. That's just my opinion though.
Of illustration rares are still very cheap. If you're a budget collector, you can collect the vast majority of illustration rares because they're going for below $1. The vast majority of illustration rares are below $1, so you can pick up pretty much most sets for a very affordable price. But some of the more popular ones, the in-demand ones, are commanding prices upwards of $30 plus, and in the case of the Magikarp, into well over $100, which is really astounding. So illustration rares is a bit of a double-edged sword. The expensive end, we have some really expensive $40, $50 plus ones, and on the cheap end, we have a ton of illustration rares that are still going for below $1. So there's actually a lot of opportunity there. If you like some of these cheaper illustration rares, you can absolutely get a gorgeous collection for pennies on the dollar. Before we continue, I'd like to thank Drip for sponsoring today's video. Drip is one of the best live streaming service your favorite Pokemon you want to get. That's you get the Pokemon Twilight 2 hits on. You get Masquerade booster packs and also enjoy the live answering today's videos, right? Cards like the Big Five, including things like all the cards that are actually kind of losing values right now, which are some of the alt art chase cards. The alt art chase cards like the Big Five, including things like the Umbreon V Max, the Rayquaza V Max, the Giratina V, a lot of them are slowly dipping back down in value, and that's sort of what I expect. They've been.
I remember one of my chase cards was the Giratina V all-time, when it was only like 200, but probably not gonna get it since it's like 400 right now.
Growing quite a bit in value. It was only a matter of time before that rubber band snaps and they start to decrease in value. Now, that doesn't mean any of these cards are incredibly cheap right now. It just means that things are cooling down for the alt art market. So if you really want to pick up some of these cards and you completely are afraid of them going for well over $1,000, well, now they're cheaper. Umbreon VMAX near mint copies are going for around $600 to even $700 for some copies, and cards like the Rayquaza VMAX and the Giratina V, which were pushing upwards of $500, have now returned to a more normalized state of around $400 for near mint copies. So if you really did miss out on some of these cards when they were spiking a month or two ago, and you don't think you were ever going to be able to pick one of these copies up, well, now they're a little bit more affordable and they might actually continue to cool down. I don't see the market for these cards really spiking.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna go up too much, but I think it's gonna go up like steadily, or it's gonna like go down a little bit. So I don't think it's gonna like plummet down, but around the same value
anytime soon. But don't expect things to stay the same forever. Collectibles like to spike in value. By their very nature, as collectibles, they like to spike in value. They don't slowly climb up. They reach an inflection point and they spike. It's very normal for a card to be a $400 card for 4 years and jump from $400 to $800 within months. That's how collectibles kind of work. They reach a weird pivotal point where everyone wants a copy for whatever reason and they spike. That's just how they work. And so it'll be interesting to see when the next big spike in alt art cards are going to be, but it could happen in 2 months. It could happen in 4 years. We don't really know. A lot of people are saying that the next big Pokemon card spike is going to be in the 30th anniversary, which is going to be happening in the next couple of years. I don't think the 30th anniversary.
Yeah, that's coming up true, so let's see what's gonna be on the 30th anniversary and see what happens.
Anniversary Pokemon is going to be that big of a deal. It's just another number. Obviously, the Pokemon company is going to make some big celebration, but they do so every single couple of years. So I don't expect the 30th anniversary to be any bigger than the 25th anniversary spike or the 20th anniversary spike. The big 25th anniversary spike really came down to the COVID pandemic, bringing a lot of collectors back into the hobby, and a lot of you guys might be back into collecting Pokemon cards that you used to enjoy as a kid. It just sort of happens one day when you decide, yeah, I kind of just want to get back into collecting. Some of the biggest winners right now we're actually seeing in sealed products. Booster boxes for some older sets like Fusion Strike and Lost Origin are making their way past two.
Yeah, true. The booster sword and sealed is going up in value like a lot, like including the alternate arts and the sword and sealed booster boxes, and even some of the packs like Evolving Sky.
$200. Fusion Strike booster boxes are now going for between $220 to $240, and Lost Origin booster boxes are going for between $190 to $200. So they are starting to get really expensive. If you're looking for some cheaper, more affordable products to pick up, and you kind of missed the spike in the booster boxes, I highly recommend you check out some of the Build and Battle Stadium boxes. You can get just as many booster packs as booster boxes for a much more affordable prices. I can still find Silver Tempest Build and Battle Stadiums going for between $35 to $40. If you pick up 3 of those, you get the same amount of booster packs as a booster box. So 3 Build and Battle Stadium, I can pick those up for probably right around 100 to maybe 110 bucks, and that's still way cheaper than a Silver Tempest booster.
Yeah, I told like Twice Baked Jake about that because like if you just want to open it in packs, you should just get the Build and Battle set
box. So they are a great option, especially if you're someone that likes to play the trading card game. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed today's.
Yeah, hope you guys liked watching Twice Baked Jake. So let's get right into the outro. That's the end of today's video. I really hoped you liked watching it, and the thoughts I gave on Twice Baked Jake's thoughts too. So if you like Twice Baked Jake and my reactions on it, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time in the next reaction. Goodbye.